This is Katie, and thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast. And today I wanted to talk about creating space in your life for you. And this can come in two different ways. This can be a physical space that you are creating where you can go to every day, every other day, the period of time that you take is totally up to you. I was trying to say periodic. The cycles that you take for you to visit this space is totally what feels the best to you. But knowing that when you're entering this space and when you're in this space, there is a special connection that you're forming between your mind and your heart and your soul. And this can be a place where you journal. Can be a place where you are doodling, where you are creating, where you're thinking a little deeper about subjects, or planning out your week, or reading a book, or just staring off into space as well, because that's being productive as well. And I'm not saying everything has to be productive, not at all. I'm just saying, like, when you sit and stare off into space, your mind is still going. And sometimes it can have intrusive thoughts, but it also can allow some space for new thoughts to form. And if we don't have space, physical, time space, mental space, any of that, it can be really hard to look at things differently and maybe find some solves to some things that are going on in your life. Your space can be unconventional too. Like, a lot of people, like, what are you actually picturing right in this moment? If you're thinking about a special space for you and it doesn't exist yet, what does that space look like? Does it have a chair? Does it have like a blanket out on the lawn? Is it walking through the woods? Is it just a nook with some like pillows and your favorite blanket in there? Is it in your car? Is it a seat right by the lake or something? Like, it can be most anything. It can be even a certain time of year too, that is, you are more connected to yourself. And so you may not experience that year round, but like during the fall or during the spring, that there are just moments you have more ideas coming to you, that you have more contentment coming to you, more recentering for yourself. And so thinking about all these different factors, what could make that special space for you, or multiple spaces. Or you may even have a space already that you're using. One of the spaces I have is a chair in my room. Another space is a little corner on the couch where I can light a candle and listen to music. There's just certain little spaces that, especially if you are able to close a door, and especially if you have a family, that you can close the door to and just take a little time for yourself, it can be a sense of peace and a sense of ease within your heart of, look what I'm doing for myself. Look at this little moment and how I can cherish it, how I can, even on my worst days, even when everything is a whirlwind around me, how does taking this moment change me? How can it stabilize me? How can I set boundaries around that to say that this is really important to me? It could be that you're using this space at certain times of the day, multiple times of the day. Maybe it's a place that you come at the beginning of the day to sort things out, and then at the end of the day to calm down and say, I have done enough. I have done enough. I'm going to set everything else aside and know that I have a new day tomorrow. What's coming to your head when you hear all this? What are you picturing in your mind? Because I think a lot of people have some kind of like, I wish I could have a space like that. And some of them are dream spaces, right? Like we can't just all be in a secluded spot in Bali and have this like meditative spot, right? But we can create something that is accessible to us. So for instance, just something, as I've mentioned before, that's in our homes, that's out in nature, that we have made much easier for us to go and use and still connect to us. It's not about having certain items. It's not about, although there can be comfort items, but I also don't want you to get caught up with like, oh, well, I have to have this item. Otherwise, there's no way I can center myself. For neurodivergent people, it could be that a blanket or a stuffed animal or a comfort or a scarf or some kind of sound that, yes, that is what brings you into the moment. But also, I don't believe you need to go out and buy something just to have the aesthetic of it. I guess that's the difference there that I make. Like, if you need to wear certain clothes to feel really comfortable, yes, that is a need for your body. Do I have to have this certain statue right next to me to remind me? Sure, you can connect to it. It just depends what your relationship is with your item. And that's another part of it, is there could be items around you that you just don't have a connection to. And that's when I would say, well, maybe try removing them and seeing if the simplification of your space, that if every time your eyes land on that item, if you're just not having a great connection or it brings up bad memories, remove it. Because when you have this special moment in that space, then you don't need to be confronted with that. So, but if there's certain items that you're slowly building up your little corner and having like just a beautiful candle, and you remember going and buying that candle and having this special moment, then if you have symbols of your beliefs around you so that you feel really deeply centered to that, if you see colors or art around you that's really important to you, yes, those are all beautiful things to have in that space. But also, you don't have to spend money for things. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I love helping build spaces for people, whether it's physical or mental. And so if you feel like you would like this personal little sanctuary for you, please reach out, get in touch, or visit my website at katiesanders.com, KATIESANDERS.com. So until next time, thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast.